When you wade a stream, you have to carry the stuff that you're going to use for the day. That's not hard, but a little planning goes a long way. For me, a backpack system generally works best. At times I'll use a vest. If I'm not wading very long, not carrying very many things, I'll carry a vest, and that'll be enough for what I need, maybe just an hour or two of wading the stream. But if I'm going to be going a little longer or carrying more stuff, I generally like the way pack keeps things dry and supports the weight on my shoulders. It's just a little better weight distribution, and for me is a little bit easier keeping it out of the way. In my pack, I'll keep things pretty simple. I'll usually will carry most of my gear in a couple of stowable boxes. I like the waterproof kinds because sometimes I wade a little bit deep, and that way the lures still stay dry and you don't have rust issues. I'll carry kind of usually an assortment with some hard baits, with some top water lures and a few minnow style baits, some crawfish crankbaits, that sort of thing. And then I'll also include a few soft plastics like the Yum Hellgrammite, and we'll carry a few jig heads as well. Again, it's a little waterproof style box. Got some soft plastics and jig heads in there, and that's really all the lures that I'm going to need for a day of fishing. That's going to cover the situations when I'm stream fishing. And then the backpack, more often than not, might have a sandwich, might have a drink. We usually will have a drink. Carry some bug spray, some sunscreen, and then a plastic bag. If I'm driving, I'll have my keys in a sealable plastic bag. I'll also have my phone in there, and you might think, you really need your phone for fishing? Well, I like it for time. I use it as a camera, and occasionally that's where I keep my fishing license, and sometimes I'll use the navigation functions or the satellite functions so I can see where I am and maybe sometimes see a feature. So that's the reason I carry it, but I always put it in that sealable plastic bag, so if I do wade a little bit deep, I've got things covered. And then when you're out fishing, sometimes if you're in deeper water, it's not that easy to get the pack off to get something. You have to go to the bank. So I'll have one small box that I carry in a shirt pocket, and it'll have maybe my starting lineup. Some of the lures that I think that I'm gonna go to first are gonna be in here, and then I can make quick changes. And then if I need to make a more wholesale change, once I get a little bit of a pattern, I might change what's in the bigger box and what's in that as I go through the day. Some people like to carry a second rod or a net, which you can easily strap to the back of a backpack. I usually keep it really simple when I'm stream fishing. If I lose a fish because I didn't have a net, that's okay. It's one less thing to get snagged. And one final preparation consideration, although it's not the stuff you carry out on the stream, is it's a good idea to have a cold drink and some dry clothes waiting in the car.